Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're back at it again, and it's been a very, very, very long time since you've likely seen this creator on my channel. It is none other than good old Glaive Keo. Because, well, I think the gacha space has been a bit dry lately, but it does turn out that there are some very, very exciting things for our resident femboy over here to actually go ahead and take a look at. Because it's another collab. It's another Honkai Star Rail collab, and it's one that is lazy and apparently not that very good. But how are we surprised that Hoyoverse is once again involved in a dog shit collab featuring Honkai Star Rail right off of the back of the Fate one, which was, I think it killed the Fate IP. I think Fate Strange Fake is literally doing worse because of how bad the HSR collab was. And basically, right, the admission from, like, Nasu, or whoever the fuck the writer is, that he was just gonna accept garbage with one of his most treasured franchises. We saw that. It wasn't very good. Penacony, the holy shit war, whatever the fuck they had, it was trash. So Honkai Star Rail has a bit of a reputational hole that they needed to dig themselves out of with this one. But apparently, it's not that very good either. And Glaive Keo is here to educate us along the way for why this one was apparently so dog shit. So let's go ahead, let's get right on into this one and see what it's all about.
It has been almost a week and my timeline has been nothing but Kafka and Blade emoting, with thousands of likes and reposts, like it's just completely flooded with HSR Fortnite brain rot. Is this part of the script?
Yeah, it's pretty goofy, right?
I wonder what Elio sees. Is this what Danheng dreamt about? I am losing my mind! But anyways, I think it is safe to say that this collab is being talked about more than almost anything else in the space right now.
It's a Zoomer collab, bro, right? We all know that Fortnite is. I don't think it's as popular as it was before, but Fortnite still remains as, like, the Zoomer game. The one that's for, you know, a bunch of, like, 10, 11, 12, 13-year-olds, but in reality, I don't really feel like the player base of HSR and the player base of Fortnite necessarily mesh together too well. I don't really think they mesh together too well at all. Because one is a high-octane, third-person shooter with, like, fast button presses and shit like that, and the other is a game that has one button. Sorry, it has 3 buttons, 2 buttons if you play My Day, and then 1 actual button if you care about your sanity, which is the auto one. Big difference, right, in the skill set required to play any of these games.
I wanted to see if my point of view was actually validated, or if I was just stuck in a Kafka echo chamber, in which I don't really mind being in, but I do want to at least give some sense into it, so I did some digging into Google Trends to see if the data matched the hype.
Oh boy, and do I have something to show all of you guys when it comes to Google Trends and some other gacha games, because if you think this one don't be looking good, oh boy, I got another one to show y'all.
United States, the search for Fortnite stayed relatively steady. It is always high. The jump from the collab was there, but it wasn't a massive spike. But then
yeah, that's pretty much nothing.
and I looked at Asian countries like Japan, South Korea, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, whatever. The graph went from around 30 to a whopping 100. The margins are huge. It is not just that though, because it also works the other way around. The United States search for Honkai Star Rail doubled the day the collab dropped.
Oh dear, then they go play the game and they're like, what is this dog shit?
While it stays relatively the same for the Asian countries. And to give some context to that data, gacha games are already mainstream in Asia, and Fortnite is the king of the West. This collab feels like a bridge, giving both games exactly what they were missing. With the amount of eyes on the collab, the amount of people talking about it, it even got me downloading and playing Fortnite and buying the skins for myself.
Yeah, you wanna know who else is playing Fortnite? Let me just show y'all the cross-pollination of the audience over here. Let me show y'all the massive amount of growth certain creators have experienced as a result of the collaboration. Y'all ready for this? Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, that's not very good, is it? Yeah, that's pretty bad. Yeah, that's not very good.
In all considerations, from my point of view, the collab is an absolute success. But while I was scrolling to
pretend you didn't see what I just showed you guys.
To get more material, one specific post caught my eye, and I quote, "I genuinely love that Epic did something they don't do often, which is get character heights right in the promo images." Hoyo was probably watching Epic with laser eyes getting this collab out of the door. And
did they?
While I do agree that Epic did an absolutely amazing job, but Hoyoverse? Watching Epic with laser eyes, you said? Are we talking about the same Hoyoverse, the same company that made the absolute flop that was the fate?
You think Hoyo has the time to give a fuck what Epic is doing in-game when this is what they called Britain? Nah, they called this shit Britain, bro. So, like, do you actually think that they gave a fuck when they made this? No, they just reskinned part of... They didn't even reskin. They just took Finon's fucking village, right? And just put this shit in here. Everyone's asking, is Finon British after this? And the thing about Finon's village, guys, is that it just looks like Leeway. This looks like Leeway in Genshin Impact. So, it's just like a refurbished Leeway is Finon's village, and Finon's village is fucking Britain. That's how much care they had, their laser eye focus on this collab. So once again, do you think they gave a fuck? A flying fuck about what Epic's doing?
Stay Night collab. The legendary Fate Stay Nights Unlimited Blade Works collab.
Why was that collab even UBW? Wait, I'm sorry. Why did they even call it UBW? What in there was like even explicitly related to any of the 3 arcs? Because guess what? That motherfucker Archer does the UBW chant in the other arcs too. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he talks about the bone of his sword in other arcs as well.
And I'm not trying to rain on anyone's parade here, right? But seeing thousands of people agreeing with that sentiment made me feel like I'm being gaslighted. Did we all get a lobotomy after Amphorius ended to save ourselves from some mental trauma? Tell me, how does a third-party shooter show this much care while the multi-billion-dollar nuclear reactor-owning company flop a legendary collab?
To be fair, did Fortnite even do that much for the collab? I'm just gonna be honest with you. Did they do anything beyond just port in the models? No, they just ported in the models, right? Oh, it's a new map too? Oh, okay. Oh, there's a lot more than that. Oh, okay. All right, so we have HSR players lying to defend the game. Okay, so we just have HSR players in chat lying that there wasn't a lot in the collab. I see. So you're now lying and trying to smear Epic's name? I see. So, okay, let me go pull somebody up real fast. They did nothing. There was dead ass nothing. Okay, clearly, obviously, you're full of shit because everyone else is saying that there's a bunch of stuff in the collab. So, yeah, we just got HSR defenders in the chat actively lying about the collab to make Hoyo look better. That's really something, isn't it? All I saw was skins. Well, all I see is your retardation, so I'll see you later, bucko.
But before we dive into talking about how one game made an entirely new map and a new game mode,
what a perfect time for this part of the video to play.
For the players to enjoy the collab, and how the other one just reused Britain.
Isn't that just... This is not pre-watch, by the way. Damn, I'm good at this.
Me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoy these kinds of content. It helps the channel more than you think. Without wasting more of your time, let's just get right into it. First, let's look at these characters visually. When the Honkai started,
I ain't playing Fortnite, so I stole this guy's game. Hey, base.
our real Fortnite collab was announced, I think everyone had expectations that the HSR characters will look like they got Fortnite-ified. The reason is because Fortnite is a game made in Unreal Engine 5.
Wait, can I just see how Kafka's code is moving?
Like they got Fortnite-ified. The reason is because
I don't really like how that code is moving. That kind of just... this giving me like Gary Mods vibes. What the fuck is...
Fortnite is a game made in Unreal Engine 5. HSR is built on the Unity engine. You know, different engine means different ways to...
Bro, like, her sleeves are like crusty. Why are her sleeves like crusty, bro?
handle lighting and shadows and so on, but the devs of Epic Games actually pulled off a miracle. The Kafka and Blade models in Fortnite are literally one-to-one. So much so that it felt like they literally just imported them from HSR. They have hair physics, they made exact textures of
I can't take my eyes off the sleeves no more.
coats, and they
that looks so weird.
even got the height proportions right in the promos. Very good job from the Epic Games.
I think the models look good other than the sleeves, bro. I can't deal with those sleeves. Oh, it's lower settings. Oh, they render more in higher settings. Oh, okay. So that's just that's good then. Okay, so you have the ability to make the game look like shit if you want it to make it run better. All right, so okay, so the coat actually looks okay.
Devs for respecting the HSR aesthetic. And
does somebody have a clip of what it looks like in higher settings? Playing a BR in high settings. If you don't care what the game looks like, why the fuck are you buying skins then, retard? Because you're admitting you don't fucking care what the game looks like if you're playing it on low. Why even buy skins in the fucking first place then? Well, you're buying skins so you can look better, but you don't fucking care what you look like if you're putting on low settings. So why the fuck are you buying skins, dipshit? Yeah, that stun locked y'all, didn't it? Yeah, you didn't think about that, did you? Yeah, it's a logical fucking gap that I guess you guys all just experienced.
well, of course, the internet took notice. There are tons of posts in my timeline, like literally floods of posts praising the devs for the character models. I saw someone who have never played HSR before, by the way, curious about how the Fortnite Kafka model stacks against the one from HSR. Brother, they look so identical, like maybe different body proportions, right? Fortnite models has big hands, but the facial features or even the
Okay, I need to see what a higher resolution version looks like, bro. This looks like.
Wait, let's see how good the shotgun is.
Let's see it.
I can't aim at a bot is kind of crazy.
Hey, John, do you...
Wait, let's see how good the shotgun is.
At a bot.
Is that noticeably better?
This is like the fact that I can't aim at a...
As sort of. I just... Nah, the sleeves still look kind of like poo-poo.
Oh my... Fire! Go! To see if the stellar get in. 5. You wanna say it? Monarchy's so far down. Oh wait, no, we gotta. Oh, I see. Don't deploy the glider yet. Wait, there's a lazy river? No.
Where you guys? Oh, we're in the lazy river.
River?
We're in the lazy river.
Wait, there's a lazy river?
I guess they just got lower expectations in America.
details of the models are on point. Someone in the comments even asked which one is Fortnite, and that says it all for me, to be honest.
I think the rigging is dog shit, but the models look fine.
Well, even though allegedly the person used a corn model instead of the official model. But that's beside the point, okay? I found a post from someone who
Imagine being the person that reveals that data.
Who professionally works with 3D.
Like, imagine being the guy that exposes that. Like, is that really something you want to do?
Models, and they said that nothing got reused. They genuinely made the Fortnite models from scratch. Making it from scratch and still looks this good.
I don't think they made it from scratch.
Somebody even said that the Fortnite version looks better. Hey, I think the same way. I mean, that's just me though, right? I've seen tons of people praising the models and how fluid they are, only to...
I'm pretty sure what happened was that they got a bunch of like the texture maps and like the actual physical stuff and then just like resized it and stuff like that.
End up criticizing Honkai Star Rail by extension. I never realized how stiff Hoyo's character models are.
Did nobody look at Kafka's coat?
Yeah, goddamn right. Coming from Honkai Star Rail where you're stuck with still images for hours on dialogues. Compare that to what we have in Fortnite. You have Blade dancing to a Cat's Eye song.
Blade's coat looks fine. And
I mean,
his
look
hair...
at him serve those hips,
Yeah.
goddamn.
Yeah, I
the
guess
concept of Kafka doing the gritty like a grandma trying to relate to the Gen Z grandsons or granddaughters. Or heck, we have them singing Sweet Victory in a concert with Hatsune freaking Miku. This feels like a fever dream, bro. Maybe this is what Dan Hung tried.
Yeah, this game is ridiculous, right? I think that's the main thing, is that this game is ridiculous, and I think that's part of the draw, is that it's like Super Smash Brothers but retarded.
We have people posting about their friends list in Fortnite, all changing their profile pictures to Kafka. Even people who knows nothing about Honkai Star Rail are debating if they should spend money on the game to get the skins because it just looks that good. And now looking at all of this, there is no doubt that the HSR Fortnite collab is a success. And I'll compare that to what happened
I think that's fair to say.
in the Fate collab. Hoyo gave us an HSR-ified Saber. They called it an adaptation. They changed her design to fit their own game's art style. You can say it looks better, right? Maybe you're watching this feeling like, well, I don't have any problem.
If that's Glaive's VTuber model, yeah, I think that's a little bit too gay. Gonna be honest, I think that's too gay.
looks better, right? Maybe you're watching this feeling like, well, I don't have any problems with it, so you can't have any problems with it either. You know, or some people might say that it looks worse, but it doesn't matter really, right?
I think he's debuting soon.
I get that Hoyoverse is trying to make Saber feel like she belongs in the game, like they're made up lore about the Holy Grail being a regular thing in Penacony, right? But in doing so, they made Saber feel less like Saber. Does that make sense?
I think nobody really likes the characters in the Fate collab at all. I think that's pretty fair to say. There's nobody that, like, Archer looks like shit.
When people ask for a crossover, when people are excited for a collab event, they're not looking for a fresh version of a character. They are looking for the character they were already in love with to exist in a new space. Fortnite proved that by just being accurate with the character models, like the literal bare minimum, is the highest form of respect you can show a fan base.
Saber looks fine. Her kit is a fucking joke, bro. Like, her kit looks like it was released in version 1.1.
Fates, it feels like Hoyo prioritized their own brand's ego over the fans' expectations. I don't know, like, there is just different opinions about this, but that's just mine. But the visuals was really just the tip of the iceberg, because it gets worse. Talking about the actual world these models were.
And I guess the biggest sin of the Fate Unlimited Blade Works collab is that Saber isn't even wearing her Unlimited Blade Works outfit. So, like, what's the point of even calling the collab that when, like, no, like, she's not even wearing her UBW outfit?
Standing in was telling a much lazier story. What did Epic Games do? Now, this is if you want to see what actual...
Like, why not, I don't know, have her have, like, 2 forms or something where, like, one's... Like, bro, they should have just made it the Heaven's Feel collab, have her in base form, and then make her ultimate go to, like, Saber Altar or something. That would have been so fucking cool, right? Probably too much effort, though, even though they had a whole fucking year to spend on the collab. Yeah, they should have just had or like Alter as a skin or something. I don't fucking know, bro.
Ambition looks like. Because even though the skins alone are already super good, they didn't just drop skins. They built an experience for the player base. What experience, you might ask? A custom-made one, made from scratch. In other words, or in Fortnite terms, they popped their mythic item, committing to the meta fully in low cortisol mode while they're mog-maxing the O.
Don't ever do this again.
Can you tell that I've been playing Fortnite for a while?
Deserved.
The Fortnite developers created the Honkai Royale Island in the UEFN.
Oh my gosh, they got the astral experience.
Basically custom games in Fortnite, and it wasn't just some random map with HSR decorations. It is
Cranky 90s. I think the term cranking 90s has to be my favorite one from Fortnite. Yeah.
literally the HSO worlds merged into a map in Fortnite. On the Honkai Royale Island, you can play 7v7 team zone control or 20-player solo battle royale, moving through Star Rail locations. I mean, look, you have the Astral Express.
I'm not gonna lie, it looks kind of shitty in here. I'm not gonna lie, that looks like a fucking toy. Like legit, it looks like a toy.
As a battle bus. Like, overall, it was just a very immersive experience in my opinion. Epic actually took the time to build something new for a game that isn't even theirs. I don't think it's a limited time event either, I could be wrong. But if it's right, it means that you can play it at any time, so that's great, right? But then you look at how Hoyoverse handled their own legendary Fate collab. Something the community has continuously memed on up to this day.
And the fact that Nasu, the writer of Fate or some shit, is like on the record directly approving of this is just like, I think he lost so much aura because the collab was so fucking bad.
Give you some context. When we get to a point,
I'm surprised the Fate banners are still up. The Fate banners are still in the game? What?
Point where we got to see Saber's homeland, it turns out to be a reused asset. These devs quite literally just lazily copy-pasted areas. Saber's Britain was quite literally just...
Honestly, permanent collab banners... Yo, hey, Kuro, it's time to copy Hoyo again. Make the Cyberpunk banners permanent. Yo, just make the Cyberpunk banners permanent. Because I've always had a thought, right, of the upcoming Cyberpunk collab. Based off of how woo-wah kits work, one of them might be a sub DPS that's a best in slot for, like, a main DPS. So, like, if they're actually collab units that you can't get again, it would suck dick if your rerunning character's best in slot is not ever obtainable again. Because, right, people think one of the Cyberpunk characters is going to be a Toon-strained sub DPS for Luke. And if that's the case, well, if you don't have whoever the character is, right, you're cooked, right?
Finon's hometown. It is Elysia, or I forgot how to pronounce it. And
or they just make the two characters best in slot for each other. Who knows?
the dialogue had the sheer audacity to say, "How is this possible? Why am I in Britain?" Britain, you say? So you're saying Finon is British? You say when he's thirsty, he needs a bo'a, and then when he's hungry, he eats beans.
Do you think one of the Cyberpunk collab characters is gonna be free? It would be insane if they do give out a free one, and then that unit is the Luke sub DPS, and then Luke is actually the best free-to-play DPS in the game. Because, like, you got his best in slot for free. They should give out the sub DPS, though. They should give out the sub DPS for free. Because that will inspire you to pull the main DPS.
Disgustingly lazy and completely immersion breaking. A third-party shooter builds a whole new game mode for your collab characters, but the multi-billion-dollar nuclear reactor owning company cannot even be bothered to change the architecture for a supposed legendary crossover.
I mean, the entire story took place in Pentaconi and was the worst, I think, story everyone's ever seen, where 90% of it was, 70% of the story was on silent mode. So there was like no even reason to hire all of the iconic VAs, right? Because there was no sound.
It makes sense because I don't get it. But of course, in a million of misses, there is a hit, despite the lazily recycled maps. And by the way,
remember guys, the collab where they were advertising how amazing, right? They were advertising how amazing it was that the JP original VAs were coming back. Half the story was on silent mode. The silent film.
they handled the money. The actual character of Archer, which was given out for free, is pretty nice. And by pretty nice, I mean amazing in HSR standards. We are almost a year into his release now, and he is still one of the top tier characters of the game at tier 0.5. In a game like Star Rail, that is basically a miracle. Either Archer is just that good, or HSR slowed down on its power creep, but
I think it's just Archer being good, right? Like, Saber is actually a piece of dog shit, right?
second part seems like an impossibility, so I will go with the former. HSR is...
Maybe that's why they called the collab Unlimited Blade Works, because Archer was going to be the only viable character.
known for this thing where new characters are made so strong that the old ones become mostly obsolete. Archer, unlike literally almost every other character in the game, survived it. Moreover, he's a DPS. You know, DPS characters are the most prone to power creep, but again, Archer is just goated. Even if the developers have stopped putting effort into building new worlds, they still know exactly how to build a character kit. The gameplay, in which my opinion is probably the most important part. And now some people will tell you that he is...
And they buff Sparkle too. I think Archer was made to sell Sparkle, right? They obviously also want to sell Sparkle as well for the whole elation thing. So I think Archer being high tier is mainly just a byproduct of them trying to sell Sparkle and Sparksy and elation and all of that. He's just a tertiary winner from that.
It's expensive to play, and they're not exactly wrong. To keep Archer at that tier 0.5 level, you basically need a team of other 5-star characters, one of them being Sparkle. But you know, at this point of the game, needing a full premium 5-star team is basically just, you know, normal. Nowadays, a lot of 5-star characters have simps, the DPS is the carry, and the dedicated support is the E-kitten, and that's just Honkai.
Sparkle is free from... Nobody cares about the free units. This is the thing, guys. Free units have lost their sparkle. Free units have lost their sparkle as like a attraction to new players. And this is where I'll show you the game that I've been saying is just completely a failure, right? All you need to do is take a look at our good old friend over here, Arknight's Enfield. Guess what they did? They gave out a free unit. They gave out that free 6-star. The game is so shit right now. It's unbelievable. That is the YouTube searches of the game. That's basically why nobody is uploading Arknight's Enfield videos anymore. Because nobody is watching them. Nobody is watching them. And guess what? Your free 6-star didn't fucking do shit in this game. It didn't. It was a failure. I think everybody knows that. And for free 6 stars in HSR, bro, with the rampant amount of power creep in that game, they just feel like they're putting a band-aid on, like, the biggest... Like, your arm got chopped off and they're putting band-aids on that shit. That's just what it fucking feels like, bro. And I think with Honkai Star Rail, it's pretty much the same thing because, well, guess what, guys? There's so much power creep in that fucking game, it's absurd. But what does Acheron even do anymore? Is Acheron even a character anymore, bro? Bro, she was like the one that started all this power creep.
Star Rail in a nutshell, you know? So it is what it is. The thing is, even with the good character kits that Saber and Archer has, HSR just doesn't have that motion like Fortnite does. They don't have the community events, or at least the creator events. Nothing at all like that for Fortnite.
But they have Mr. Pokey. No, that's not really a plus, is it?
Though, they gathered massive Fortnite names like Ninja and...
Why was Mr. Pokey not in this? They got Enviosity, though. They got Enviosity, though. Did Mr. Pokey not get the collab because he made so many videos about me? Wait. Did Mr. Pokey get, like ruin his shit in the collab because he was trying to farm me so much? I was born in the drama, molded by it. I don't know if he was, though. I don't think he was built for this. Uh-oh. Again, it's all speculation. I got no idea. I'm just surprised the guy that gets care packages from Hoyoverse wasn't invited.
Flicks playing alongside gacha game big names like Ziox and Doro44. There is so many more that joined, but the point is that it was a huge event that showed the game still has incredible pull, introducing Star Rail players to Fortnite and the other way around.
How good was Fob Master? Was he just trash? I feel like Fob is not good at games like this. Or maybe it was this. I don't think a bunch of content creators would want to play alongside someone who abuses the copyright strike system. Yeah, maybe they were like, Pokey's gonna strike us if we play with him.
How did Fortnite, a foreign company, did creator events before Hoyo could ever make one? I just don't get it, bro. Every creator event
Just saying.
from the Hoyoverse community is made by the creators themselves. Like, there is no initiative to this, and I just feel like it's a missed opportunity. So when you look at the Fortnite collab, you can see what happens when a company actually respects the source material. They didn't need a year to get it right. They gave us almost a one-to-one mirror of the characters.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like Fortnite didn't have to do as much, but it's not like expectations were relatively...
Which they made...
Why the fuck was that? It's not like expectations were like that high. On the other hand, I feel like expectations for the Fate collab were absolutely fucking ridiculous because they kept hyping it up so much, say that they worked on it for a fucking year, did all of that shit, and then it was dog ass.
Was almost a one-to-one mirror of the characters, which they made from scratch, by the way, a custom-built map featuring the worlds in the original.
The video is saying too little for the amount he's been talking. Yeah, I think this video could have been like 4 minutes shorter, but that's why we're adding so much additional commentary to it.
Original game, and overall it was simple, it was high-tier efforts, and it worked wonderfully. But then you look back at the Fate collab, which apparently needed a year to produce, and it just felt tragic. Megumi Fushiguro is the potential man, and the HSR Fate collab is basically the same. I would take it so much better if they just admitted it to be a cash grab, or if they had said nothing about it, to be honest, because apparently according to the interview with Nasu and Shaoji,
yeah, this is the shit I'm talking about here, right? Overhyped.
It was actually a dream project.
Yeah, and you want to know where that dream came from? Somebody who was on crack!
This collab had a lead writer who claims
he was on crack!
fate changed his life. The original
Because he was on crack!
creator giving his seal of approval for it too. On
Who was also on crack!
paper, this should have been the greatest crossover in gacha history,
But everyone working on it was on crack!
but it ended up being the middest collab in history, the most missed potential possible ever. It doesn't matter how much Xiaoqi loves Fates, if the summoning ritual looks
Like it's on crack!
like a PowerPoint presentation with cartoon sound effects, it doesn't matter if Nasu gave his blessing, if that blessing covers up a Britain that is just a reused map from another story. I guess the creators are happy, but the fans are calling it a massive disaster. Who are you making this game for then? I don't get it. Nasu says the process was super easy, but maybe it was too easy. Because a year later, the only thing that is unlimited about this collab
Is the crack!
is the amount of memes about how Finon is apparently British. Archer is a beast, I'll give them that. They still know how to build good character kits. But I just think it's weird when I think about how a third-party shooter shows more respect for HSR's world than the developer shows for its own apparently heroes that inspires them in the first place.
Like I said before, overhyped piece of garbage that they over-advertise for the actual quality of it. And it just again shows like the ego, the arrogance of these developers. You already know who they are, right? Hypergriff, Hoyoverse, egotistical, don't actually understand the product that they're pushing out. They actually just sniff their own farts and they think it smells amazing. And it's just... There's so much of it happening in the space right now. These guys ride the coattails of their previous successes and their previous projects and think that anything they produce is solid fucking gold like they're King Midas. But in reality, these guys just actually produce dog shit, get delusional, and nobody has the confidence internally to tell them that they're making a piece of shit.
But anyways, you know, what do you think? Is a tier 0.5 unit enough to make you ignore the doggy poo-poo story and the recycled maps? Or have we reached a point where we are satisfied with the bare minimum? Let me know what you think in the comments below, but that is all from me, Glaive, and I will see you in the next one.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, Glaive. I think this one, the summary I would make for this video is word count. Because this bitch was 13 minutes and 41 seconds long with no sponsor. I think it would have been a better overall video if it was like 10. Yeah, I think if it was a 9 or 10 minute video, it would have been better overall. Because the points are solid. The points are very accurate. But I do feel like there was a little bit of a unnecessary repetition. But that's the thing, right? That's what we're here to do. We're here to react. We're here to provide that extra analysis, that extra value, and extra recognition of how much crack the fucking HSR team was doing when they made that fake collab. Because good golly gee, I'm still traumatized and I didn't even finish the quest. I got to the silent film part and just stopped playing. I came back to the game for the fake collab and I've never come back. I came back for the fake collab, guys, and I never came back. That's how bad it was. And I'm sure a lot of people did that too. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out.